important. We know and know where they're at, and we make contact with them. We make sure they register. We keep in good contact with the school system. Basically, just knowing where they're at.
It's another one of my duties, registering sex offenders. We need to do everything we can to track them. Like I said, we need to keep up with them. We need to make sure that they register before their birthday. We need to make sure that they don't live within what the law says of a church or a daycare center or a park or anything like that. Posted pictures everywhere we can post them. Put them on the internet. Post them on the courthouse wall. Make everybody familiar with them. Is the biggest thing. Everybody needs to know who they are. You need to educate your kids not to talk to strangers. I mean, everybody knows nowadays that they're out there amongst us. So you got to tell your kids, I got to tell my kids, my grandkids, and I pray the Lord I have some soon, not to talk to strangers and stay away from them. And as far as sex offenders go, we do everything the law allow to make it as hard on them to commit another crime as we possibly can.
How will you protect our children from sexual predators in Madison County?
All right. When I come into office, the sex offender registry was in a banker's box in the front of the office. We have that straightened out. I actually have 2 people that overlook those guys. We have our files up to date, and they're in order, and they're available at the school system, at the courthouse, at the library, and where they're supposed to be. There's a big TV in my front lobby that rotates their pictures constantly. We keep track of them with probation. If they're on probation, we go check on them. They register every year. If they don't register within their time frame, they're put in jail. We've done it many times. You got to work with defects. Past 3.5 years, or past 09, 10, and 11, we worked 54 cases with defects. We locked up 28 people off of those cases. When I pulled numbers from 06, 07, 08, there was 14 cases worked with defects. I take it back, 15 with 4 arrests. You need as many people as you can to keep up with them. You got to work with defects, and you got to keep your eyes on them. Make it available. Like I said, it's open to the public. It's in my lobby. It's in the courthouse. It's on our website. So anytime you want to look, go to our website, and they're on there. And that's for the knowledge of the people. It tells you, it'll map it out on there for you, where they live at, if you really want to know, to keep an eye on. We have done a good job. The 2 guys that handle that have done an excellent job, actually, keeping up with them. They don't play with them. Like I said, if they don't do what they're supposed to, they end up back in jail. Thank you.
I want to keep my kids safe from sexual predators before they're already sexual predators. I think that begins with education, talking to them when they're young, talking to them when they're at home, talking to them when they're at school, talking with them when they're at church, making sure they understand that everybody that wants to talk to you is not your friend. Everybody that comes up to you is not trying to bring you candy and then walk along about their way. You need to make sure that you as parents and you as citizens talk to your kids, take some responsibility on yourself, and help teach your kids what they need to be aware of. The Sheriff's Department is just here to deal with people who commit crimes or potentially commit crimes. Once they've been convicted, we failed. We failed as parents and we failed as community folks. But once they've been convicted, we're not going to let it happen again. We're going to keep up with them. If they're going to do it again, then we're going to work with the DA. We're going to work with the prosecutors in every county or wherever we need to go. If they're going to be repeat offenders, then we're going to deal with them as aggressively and harshly as we possibly can. In my opinion, that would be the dredge of society. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I've heard the feelings. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it, and we're going to address that.
to Mr. Zellner. If you receive a complaint from someone who has been arrested by one of your officers that the officer used unnecessary force, what will be your process for responding? Likewise, how will you instruct your officers on the use of force?
Well, that goes back to training. Need to implement training in the department. Very important. But if I personally receive a call that an officer has violated somebody's civil rights, or I will personally look into it. We'll have investigators look into it, and the proper techniques and the investigation will go into seeing how we're going to look into it.
I'd look at the complaint from the word go and try to verify if there's any merit to it. If there is, I of course investigate it like any other crime. If it's serious, I mean, if somebody shot or beat or something, I'd call in an outside agency such as GBI to come in and investigate it so it doesn't look like there's favoritism going on or I'm trying to protect one of my own or something like that. What's the other thing, training? You get your deputies all the training you can get them. They got to have 20 hours a year. Most of them get more than that. I would encourage them to get all the training that's available to them, and of course, talk to them in weekly meetings, which I held at the sheriff's office the whole time I was there. And we talk to people. We tell them you don't go out and treat people bad. You treat people like you want to be treated. That's very important. Most of the time, if you can defuse a situation a lot easier with your mouth than you can with a stick. So if you can do that, I think 9 times out of 10 you're out ahead. And I would encourage my deputies to treat people like they want to be treated, and of course don't just elevate right to the top of the force. And with those wood shampoos no more than absolutely necessary. Thank you.
Take every complaint seriously, especially a complaint about brutality on somebody. You have to. Nowadays, you have to take it serious. I would look into it. Another investigator would look into it. If there is any merit to it, you need to call in an outside agency to show neutrality on your part. And they need to look into it. If any merit is found in it by them, then it will be prosecuted or whatever needs to be done through the DA's office. Every year, every deputy, every police officer, every post-certified person in the state of Georgia has to have use of force. They know what they can do and when they're supposed to do it. They're trained on it every year. Those laws haven't changed, and I don't know when. Every year they have that training. In my office, if they do have to use any kind of force, there is a use of force report done. If they lay hands on them, there's a use of force report done. Trying to keep down complaints like that. Those complaints are serious, and you have to take them very serious.
Complaints are going to happen. That's what happens. People sometimes don't agree with your decision-making process.